So I've been noticing a trend lately. There's a lot of these remastered games from back in the 90s and the early 2000s coming out. And I wanted to take a look at one to analyze some stuff about it. What I want to talk about today is Spyro. If you don't know what Spyro is, basically, there's a land of dragons. All the dragons usually get frozen or their eggs get stolen or something like that. And only one dragon can save them, and that's Spyro. The game consists of collecting various items and freeing dragons, and that's about it. Spyro is pretty well received by pretty much all age groups, but from what I just described to you, it's a game that literally a 5-year-old could play. So what makes it so good? A guy named Mihaly defined the term flow as the sweet spot between being bored and being overly anxious. Spyro's design lends itself to flow very well for a couple of different reasons. First, because you can always see what you need to do, and that's demonstrated through the level design. As you're playing the game, you'll notice that the objectives are literally chained back to back. So as soon as you complete one part of the objective, the next part of it is right there in front of it. It also lends itself to flow well because if you get bored pursuing the current objective, a different objective is relatively close by. The game is also constantly reminding you that there's other things you can do. Every time you complete a portion of the objective, you get this small, nice, non-intrusive overlay showing you everything else that you could do. Those are relatively simple ways that the game keeps the player from becoming bored, but how does the game keep the player from becoming overly anxious? Well, the game is relatively easy. It's hard to become anxious when you're not really facing any challenges, but there are some difficult parts of the game, difficult challenges that are all optional. If you feel like you're being too bored, you can go do something that's more challenging, but the game never forces that difficulty on you. All in all, Spyro is a great example of a game that flows well because the game was designed with flow in mind. And as designers, if we design with flow in mind, that can only improve the games that we are making.